Hey there, beautiful people. This isn't one of my usual podcast episodes, you might be wondering. I felt called to jump on the mic because we're moving into the Capricorn Full Moon. And over the past couple of days, I've been noticing something, both within myself and in conversations I've been having with others. One thing that I've learned over the years is that lunar cycles don't suddenly switch on at the exact minute the moon becomes full. They're more like tides or phases. You begin feeling them before they arrive, especially if you're a sensitive soul like myself. And often they're still gently moving through you for a few days afterwards. For me, it showed up last night, and that's what's prompted me. I had one of those incredibly restless sleeps. It wasn't anything dramatic, and I wasn't anxious, but my sleep felt unusually light. And my dreams, well, they were vivid, man. They were really vivid. Little scenes and snippets that made absolutely no logical sense, yet they did make sense on some level. They seemed familiar. You know those dreams where you wake up thinking, what on earth was that about? Yet somehow they stay with you. They linger. And I actually woke up around 4 o'clock this morning and could still remember most of them. That's what I call a vivid dream for me, when I can virtually remember every detail, like I've got a magnifying glass in my hand. Now, I don't want to rush to interpret dreams literally. That's not really what I'm about. For me, they're often more like little whispers from the unconscious or the subconscious, or a remnant from a past experience, gently helping us process things we've been too busy to notice during the day, during the month, during the year. And perhaps that's exactly what this full moon is asking of us, to notice. I've been reflecting on something lately. The older I get, the less interested I am looking like I've got it all together. Maybe that's what this full moon is inviting us into. So it's not really about that more achievement, not another goal, not another thing to prove, just honesty. Because if I'm really honest, I think many of us have become incredibly good at carrying things we were never meant to carry. Old concerns, responsibilities, maybe expectations, or keeping everyone else comfortable. Holding it all together because, well, someone has to, right? You might be the black sheep of your family, which is actually a really cool thing because you're here to bring truth into the lineages, to speak the truth, to help heal. Yet, often that also means we're carrying things that we'd love not to need to carry. Until one day you quietly realize, I'm exhausted and I'm not even sure who I'm doing this for anymore. And that is the feeling I get from this Capricorn full moon. Capricorn has this reputation for ambition and discipline. And yes, there's truth in that. But where I think we've misunderstood is the word discipline. We've misunderstood how that's meant. Real discipline isn't working yourself into the ground. It's more about having the wisdom to stop giving your precious energy to things that no longer deserve it. There's a world of difference. This moon feels less like a judgment, more like a quiet audit. Not of your finances, not of your business or of your achievements, but of your energy. What's genuinely nourishing you? Question mark. What's quietly draining you? And perhaps the biggest question, who are you when no one's watching? not on social media, not in your professional role, not as someone's parent, partner, friend, or caregiver. Just you. Because eventually performance becomes exhausting, right? Whereas if we look at authenticity, that doesn't become exhausting because it's natural and aligned. And so perhaps that's the real quantum shift this moon is inviting. Less performance, more presence, less proving, more becoming. Who we be, who we are, not who we do. One thing I've learned is that life has an interesting way of course correcting us. Sometimes gently, sometimes with what feels like a little tap on the shoulder, and sometimes with a rather obvious shove. I suspect this moon is somewhere in between, not here to punish us, simply asking whether the life we're building still fits the person we've become. I'll say that again. Simply asking whether the life we're building still fits the person we've become. So if you're feeling unusually reflective this week, if you're sleeping differently, or dreaming more vividly, or just sensing that something wants to change, don't rush to fix it. I invite you to sit with it, to listen. Nature never rushes a season, so neither should we. If you feel called to do one simple thing under this full moon, this current one, write down one thing you've been carrying since the beginning of this year, that you're finally ready to put down, to lay down, to surrender to. Not because you've failed, don't look upon it as a failure, more because you have evolved. And sometimes I reckon that's all transformation really is. Not becoming someone new, but finally giving yourself permission to stop pretending to be someone you've already outgrown. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. If this little moon insight of mine resonated, I'd love to hear what came up for you. And until next time, be gentle with yourself. The moon will keep doing what it has always done. And perhaps our job is simply to pay a little bit more attention. Take care. Big love.